Hello, welcome to another edition of the Spare Change Challenge. I believe this might be episode 40. Let's see. Yep, episode 40. Sorry, I wish I could remember that day today. But regardless, yeah, we're just getting started here. A little bit late, sorry about that. But it actually snowed here, so we were doing some family stuff. I had a snow cap on until recently, so probably not looking great here, but it doesn't really matter. We'll still play some poker. I'm not here to impress anybody. Let's see if we can get some tables going. And see if we can pwn some fish today. Oops, we missed that one. We missed that one. That's not good. Okay, so we'll just wait a minute. There'll be some tables popped up. It's a Saturday afternoon. The game should be good. I wouldn't see any reason why they wouldn't be. We're just in a momentary lapse in games running right now. We'll just have to wait a second for a couple seats to open up. Probably won't take that long. A bunch of 5-0, but I think we'll avoid playing that for right now. So we were able to get the bankroll up to, it was about 239 at the end of yesterday, so that's where we're starting today. I wasn't able to place since, so we'll hopefully continue forward from that point. I did update my graph. Downloaded the hands from 2 days ago. Here we go. We might have 4 tables now. Boom. They're awesome. Now we just need some hands. Here's the first. 6-5 offsuit. Yeah. Probably not going to be playing that one. Game's looking good. 2 limpers. They're both 75-25 before this hand. That is a good sign. Bet for value on this board. Good turn card. So what's the deal here? Well, there's some ace X's out there. Do we just bet again? Or do we ship? I think with 2 players, we just ship. I can play the maximum here with their ace. Wow, that's unfortunate. Let's see. This guy's open 2 straight stealing hands. I think we can just ship our king queen suited. I think offsuit it would be a little more marginal, but I think being suited makes a good amount of difference. Couple fish here probably. Do I want to ISO? Actually, I think we can profitably limp this hand with this player still behind. Play a 3 or 4-way pot. Well, definitely a 4-way pot. With 2 bad players, that's never a bad thing. We'll check back this board. I'm not going to fire into 2 fish in a limped pot. Most will want to call at least a flop to see a turn. That's a good card. Could have the best hand now. Do we protect? Or do we just... This is basically a check. I guess we're going to check back and call the 10 cents. Certainly could have the best hand here. Actually a pretty big blank. I mean, we're probably not good, but we're not going to fire into 2 fish. They're probably not going to fold anything. Yeah, he's definitely not folding a jack. That's fine. Sometimes they make hands. Nothing you can do about that. Gonna do a standard open with the ace king here. This guy's been opening every hand, so maybe he'll 3-bet his first hand against us here. He is 100-100 over 4 hands. 3-bet time. Come on. Come on, you maniac. Okay, we're just pretty much going to consider this the nuts. I didn't mean to pot that. I meant to half pot it. I wanted to get raised by this possible aggro, but oh well. It's kind of a dry board. I think we can just check. It's not really to slow play. It's more just to, because there's not much that people can have here. What does this look like when this guy limps and then pots it here? Look like he just slow played sometimes. Maybe he has pocket 10s or ace 9 or something. I think we have to just call one street, give him a chance to bet again, and then check raise the turn. Just in case he's got just 2 overs. I want to give that a chance to catch up. Nah, I mean, he's probably not going to bet the river if he has a hand like 7, so we just have to get it in, hope he makes a bad call here. Oh, I thought I put it all in there. That's weird. Okay, well. Still going to pay me off, regardless. That's actually a pretty interesting play if I want to start working that into my game. Bet, leave myself like, I don't know, what, 3 big blinds in my stack. Maybe they'll call that more likely than they would a shove. Do I isolate here? I think so. That was interesting. We can see what he had. I'm guessing it's like pocket 10s or something, right? Slow played. It almost have to be. I mean, what else is going to call there? He just had a 9. He had queen 9. So, I mean, I guess that's basically the same thing. I'm going to bet a little bit big. I don't want to get bluff raised by like a weak club. If he's going to bluff raise me, let it be with a strong club where he has like tons of equity. I'm going to bet my trips here. There's 3 exit on this button with tight players. They're going to have a tight calling range. They're probably going to call the same range they would to a min raise a lot of the time. I'm just going to overbet on this draw heavy board. This connects very well with his range, so I want to bet on the biggish side. And, that's not the worst turn card, honestly, because I have blockers to king 10. It does complete queen 9 and queen jack. It's just a matter of whether I want to check back. I think we just both have trip aces here a lot. Or he has a busted flush draw. I guess I should probably check this because he's going to bet his trip aces and maybe bet his missed bluff. I'm going to actually check back against the tight player here. Now I just have to think I have the best hand and I have to ship and hope he has a queen. He could have queen jack or queen 9 here sometimes and snap me off on the river, but I think we just have to go for value there. Have to go for the maximum. We can't let him check back with king queen there or whatever, ace queen or whatever. He's got a strong range. Ace jack, who knows. We're just going to put ace king in pre-flop here with 47 big blinds, 48 big blinds. We'll limp the jack 10 behind. Take this one down. That's good. Fold the ace 8 suited here. Let's see if we have any reads here. I'll just leave this table. Fold this. Okay. Got a 3-handed 25 NL table we're going to check out. Usually pretty promising. Just folded. That means he probably will, well, who knows? Let's see. Yeah, we're just going to sit here to the left of the short stack. Go with it. Let's find a new one. 38% VPIP, 25 in L table. We got less than an inch of snow. They were calling for, at one point it was 6 to 8 inches, then it was 3 to 5, then it was 1 to 3, then by the time it actually started snowing they revised it to less than an inch. 20 miles north of us though got 3 to 5, and 40 miles north of us got 6 to 8, and about 100 miles east northwest of us got a foot of snow, I think. We were right on the edge of the storm, I think. Just enough the kids could enjoy it a little bit, but definitely a disappointment. I would have liked to have gotten at least 3 or 4 inches of snow. Built a snowman at least. We did have a pretty mean snowball fight though. I scraped all the snow off my cars, and if this guy is slow playing, I want to be very confident in my fold on the turn. And also can get more value from like 3, 4, flush draws, that type of thing. Now I can just fold because I know when I pot it, near pot it here, he's not going to be bluffing. Often. We're definitely betting for value. He's not going to have many aces in his range, so if he has a queen, we still have backdoor equity here. And that is a very good turn card. Do we just bet to get value from queens? Or do we check to get value from floats that he's going to bet and ace highs that he's probably going to bet? I think we can consider ourselves all in here and just check. Obviously a river like a queen or something would be bad, or an ace, but that's fine. We're just going to get it in now with 2 pair. And we do get some value from a bluff on that turn. This is a pretty small raise. We only have 6 clean outs here. Well, the jack could potentially be a clean out. We have a couple of those as well. But I think the price he's given us, we just have to call 1 street and then check fold if we don't get there. Giving us the right price. So if we peeled like a clean 7, I mean, we're getting all the monies. So as you can see, if he's going to bet that on a 5, he's going to bet it also on a 7 of clubs. So we basically he just made a huge mistake by doing that min raise. Unless, of course, he had Jack 9 of diamonds, I guess. I don't know. Or whatever the flush draw was. I think we can ISO this. That's pretty tight here. Get off of this table. And this one. There's 1. There's 2. Righty then. Okay. It's always fun. That's why I think 4xing is superior to 3x or 2x. I used to 2x that all the time there. And the theory was I don't mind playing in position. But I think adding in a big blind, or a couple big blinds to sometimes win pre-flop, takes a lot of pressure off of your post-flop game. And I think you actually, by getting him to fold 30% more or something pre-flop, that fold equity's making a dollar or 3x raise actually cheaper than min raising there. That makes sense. It's like fold equity put in there. It makes sense, I mean, that people would never fold to 2 or 3x. Never fold to 2x, rarely fold to 3x, but fold quite a bit to 4x. Like, people are limping for a reason, right? They don't want to pay this premium price. They're trying to get in cheap. I think I have to lead here. I guess I think I have to fold now. May not be a good table here. We just got folded to on our first big blind. That's a bad sign. This one is also not looking good. So we'll probably be leaving this. Yep, that's confirmed. This one, I guess we got this guy. Fuck. I don't know. Let's see if something's available right now. We may have been on this one too recently. Yep. I'll fold that. I'll raise that suited 10. Assuming we're just playing against this guy alone most of the time. I think it's a profitable spot. I don't want to tank here before I bet. I'm just going to lead with my 10. Protection, yada yada. And we'll bet again one more time. Just in case he's got like pocket, I don't know, 9s we can get value from. We don't improve. There's really not much we're beating now. I think we can just check fold. I guess there's something we're beating. I have no idea what this guy could have. What the hell did he call? I mean, I guess King Deuce with a gut shot. I have no clue what hand I'm going to see here that I'm beating. It would call 2 straights. King 6. Wow, I was pretty damn close. Well, I guess King Deuce would have made more sense because he hit a deuce on the turn with that. Yeah, hit a gut shot with the king. I guess it could have been Queen X2. I just figured people would be more likely to limp big cards, so. Chalk another one up for Jim's read. Not that that read helps me in any way. Just fun to do, I guess. Ooh, that's an action flop that I'm not going to show any action on. It's like slam dunks this guy's range, so I'm done with this hand unless I hit an ace. Still not too terribly thrilled about my hand, honestly, but I am going to pot it on the turn. Just because it makes it a lot easier to fold if he raises now. Super simple. If I half pot it, half heart it, rather, kind of. Same thing. Betting big actually makes hands play a little bit easier in those spots. And you're not really betting big. I mean, it's $1.25, but relative to the pot. But you are on the turn. Makes a little difference. This is a great hand to have. So what do we do here? I think he's either got an ace and calls, or a draw, or he folds. So we're just going to put it all in here. Hope he has ace X. And that sucks, man. What the hell's he donk betting with? The limp shove, okay. Yeah, makes sense. That's rare. It doesn't really happen that much. Even if somebody has like ace 5, they're probably not going to limp shove the 4x. Do we just ship here? I think we had 25 big blinds or less. We might, but I think that's a limped pot. This is always the awkward spot, you know. Is you think you got the right place, right price just to stick it in, but you only really have your small blind invested, big blind invested, and then you lead, and I don't know. I think it's fine, but you like always got 35% or 40% equity, so not really that great. But you don't really want to check call either. You want fold equity, right? I don't know. We don't have a good price here. I'm gonna bet pretty big here. I think we have to check shove that just to let all his bluffs bet and then fold. And if it gets all in, whatever. And now we'll bet 2 streets. No matter the run out. Bet the river pretty big probably. In case he has a 4x deuce x type hand. This is not a great table. This isn't tight enough for me to open deuce 7 here, so I'll fold. This table, once again, is not looking good. It's kind of a trend right now. This table's pretty bad, too. Wish I'd gotten off before that blind hit. Tricky little spot here. It's very difficult to get your hand to showdown, really, here, a lot of the time. I guess your best bet is probably to bet fold flop. Bet pretty big to make checking back the turn a little easier on you. Okay, so that makes a that makes it really easy to fold here. I mean, he's into 3 people there, so he's probably just got it. We'll just fold now. Get off this table. That was a waste of time. Denied. The 38% VPIP table. Give it a shot. And we'll take that seat. We got a short stack here. We got a couple big stacks. Well, we got one big stack. Where'd he go? Directly to our left. We're just banking on this guy maybe being a fish. Got enough money to make it worthwhile to our right. And maybe we'll get lucky and somebody else will be as well. Excuse me. So this guy's not auto-posting, so I'm guessing that means he's a fish, probably. This big stack might be a fish too. Might be a whaley player. He snap called a under the gun raise in the cutoff, so didn't really consider anything. Yeah, this is an easy fold. And this table blows, I think. Bye-bye. See you later. Hold that. I'm not too thrilled about this table either. Where's all my damn fish? Try this one. This is like deja vu here. Didn't we just do this? Same spot. Holy cow, I can't stop yawning. I didn't sleep very well last night. I don't know why. Kept waking up over and over again. Only drifting off for a little while at a time. Kind of pieces me off. I have a feeling this is suddenly a shit table, so we'll do this just in case. We'll open that though. Quick shove. Now bet. We're not getting anybody to fall into our traps. He limped. I don't know what that means, but I'll limp. Why can't he be a deuce? Yeah. Alright. Sucks. I can't stop yawning. Guess I should have some coffee, but now I'm too lazy to go downstairs. We'll open that. Probably getting off this table. I think this guy doesn't necessarily have to be a fish to limp in that spot. He's in the cutoff, and damn, I'm limping a lot today. Turning into a Freaking fish. Alright, get off of this. Definitely opening that. That's standard in the hijack for me. We have a gutter ball on the top left. I'd like to check back this hand. Good. Not the worst flop in the world. Do we check? This guy's passive, so we're going to check. Hopefully he just does what he's supposed to do and check back and gives us a free card. Now that would be nice if it was a deuce of clubs. I don't think we're going to stab at this. We get 3 ranges we're up against. Yeah, I'm just folding that. Yeah. Probably it was okay to stay there. Trying to find a good table. I don't want a mediocre table. Lots of games going. We're going to find a good one here shortly. Basically by process of elimination, it looks like. We'll throw all the mud we can on the wall and see what sticks, whatever that means. Throw something on the wall. Man, this is... I don't know why I stayed on this table. I guess I have this guy. Makes it okay. I'd rather he be here, but as long as this seat's empty, it's not bad. I don't know, I'm just not seeing any of those 80-20 types, really, yet. Maybe on that one table that we doubled up on. But I don't know, other than that. Not too thrilled about the table selection today. Definitely a lot more difficult now than it was a few years ago. I mean, if this was 5 years ago on Bovada, you'd be seeing like 3 80-20s on every table. Just about. I mean, I'm actually not exaggerating too much there. This guy's 80-60. 6 hands. I think I can just flat this. I think it's going to play pretty easy post-flop here. I think it's a little too early to shove. I might shove that on the cutoff though because he's opening almost every hand. I certainly would be shoving 10s, so I think moving down one step is fine against that kind of read. I'm going to bet my pair here. Ah, Shisaki. Of course, this guy's 3-bet 2 out of 3 hands now. Do I just go with it? Is that too preliminary to go with it? I'm gonna do it. Too fishy to me. 2 out of 3. I mean, I guess he could just be picking up a bunch of hands, but he has a short stack. Puke. And he hits quads. That's okay. I'd rather him hit quads than me hit a 9 on the turn or something. That was probably a bad idea. I don't know, he's a short stack, and he's 3-bet 2 out of 3 times. I mean, I see crazy stuff there. I see ace-deuce suited from those type of players sometimes, so I'm not going to really second-guess myself. He certainly could have ace-queen or ace-jack even. A lot. I mean, I know 2 out of 3 is very, very small sample size, but I don't know. I just kind of get a feeling that a short stack, when you get I just have a feeling, you know. I don't know, I can't really explain it other than that. I mean, we did run into queens, but I'm not going to second guess it. We're fine. And we're just going to 4-bet here, because it's a cutoff versus small blind. Ow. If it was button versus small blind, I might flat there. But cutoff, he's just going to be tighter. Probably not be folding. Could have done without that one, right? Screw you, Barry Greenstein. That's all I think about. Anytime somebody hits an ace on the river, all I think about is that book, which I didn't even read. I read a little bit of it, I think. I have it somewhere. An ebook or something. I thought we were going to run good today. We got to go up to a damn good start. I guess I could have folded there and then got lucky there and we're fine now still, but I mean, what do we probably break even again? That's okay. Games aren't really that good. If we could just win something today, that'd be good. No, or not be down too much. It's a good spot. We have a guy that's playing almost every hand here. We have an aggro, potentially aggro guy on the button. Bet a third of my stack and shove any flop, no matter what comes. I may look like I'm on tilt here too. I don't think this guy's folding. Oh, wow. Well, at least I did my best, right? That's all I can do. I can do a small 3-bet. I can't really just call. I guess I could. But there's a good chance one of these two players is going to make a loose call. I think I just have to pump the pot up there. I think shoving is a mistake in that spot. Can I just defend? Yeah, I can defend. Guys, 88-63. If it was heads up, I'd say this is the nuts. Still going to call, probably. Yeah, I'm going to at least call a street. Kind of wary always to have a guy behind you. You know what they say, if Jack 10 can make a straight, somebody's got it. But we're not in a 4 or 5 way pot. I think I'm just kind of stuck with this hand now. I don't think we can just fold now. I mean, we could be getting pwned by something like Queen Jack or Ace Queen. And now we have a straight. I don't think he's folding a king. He has a boat. You know, or whatever. Good game, sir. Good hand. So we do get max value there. I'm guessing he had a king there. I mean, what else is he going to call with? Right? We can't let him check back a king, so we have to just shove there. I think we just value shove this turn. I mean, it's a dry board. He's probably not going to call a small bet him with 8s, but we'll give him a chance to call it with a weaker king here. I don't want to give him any excuse to fold his King Jack or whatever. Not that he doesn't raise that pretty often. What does this guy have on that last hand? I'm guessing King 5 suited. Okay, so do I just ship? Yeah, I think we can just ship this. Guy looks to be pretty aggressive. Yeah, Ace King. Wow, Ace freaking King. We definitely got really lucky there. Not just lucky to hit our hand, but lucky that he was willing to make that call on the river. Which, I mean, I don't know. What could we have that's... I guess we could have just a trip king's hand? I guess he's beating some hands still, that, and it was just an SPR of 1 on the river. Yeah, I can't really comment on some. I don't... It seems like it wasn't really a strategy book, I don't think, right? It was just a book of stories or something. Do we have to just defend this lead here with our flush draw, or can we call to try and keep this player in? Like, if this player raises, or bets, I'm sorry, we call, he raises, then he shoves, we can just get it in, right? Because assuming we have the right equity to do that, I'm just going to call. We definitely can't fold. I mean, we actually do have a gut shot, just in case somebody had a better flush draw. I'm going to raise here. Actually a good card for us to be able to get away from this hand. It's a pretty easy raise in that spot. We're almost always good. We can protect and get worse aces and such to call. Maybe some draws, if there were any possible. I hate calling this, actually, but I'm probably going to do it anyway. Yeah, we just fold now. The hell away from that flush draw. This is probably like King Jack here or some crazy stuff, pocket jacks. I mean, that's really the hand that I could think would play that way. Like, he leads with King Jack to protect his hand, hits his boat, and he check raises the turn. Check min raises. Unfortunately, we don't get to see it. But that's what it looks like. He's just trying to get value from a worse tier 1 hand. Highly doubt that's ever a bluff there. Highly doubt. What the hell is this shenanigans? 5x open? Almost. Guys, 60-40 we can call here. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I thought I was losing my freaking mind. It's a 3-bet. Okay, that's an easy fold then. Man, that was a brain fart and a half. At least I realized it before I acted. Not that I was gonna maybe even do anything, but I'm bad about that. Just completely forgetting the situation when I've moved on to another hand. Wow. Interesting. So we have a double gutter and 2 overcards. Pretty strong holding for an SPR of about 3. So I think we just have to bet here. Bet and probably call it off. It's just like having, maybe even a little better than having a flush draw. Really. We have the 2 overs as well. I like Barry Greenstein though. Old school player. I think he's a good guy. He used to donate a lot of his winnings to charity, right? And I could see why maybe he wouldn't write a strategy book. Maybe 1, he thinks he doesn't want to give away anything, or 2, he doesn't think he has anything to offer. And maybe he just wanted entertainment value and wanted to be a little bit different. I don't know, did he try to sell it as a strategy book though? I actually just don't know. If that's the case, then boo. Just gonna leave this table. Probably gonna leave this one too. Oh yeah, this is horrible. Terrible table. Reminds me of a story. I started playing golf when I was 18, and my grandmother, my wealthy grandmother, bought some lessons for me, and well, not really lessons. I guess there was a junior golf camp or something one summer that all the rich kids played in. Was not one of them, but I had a rich grandmother, so she paid for my cousin and I to go out there. They did have one clinic right before they did the first golf. Now you have to realize this is like the second time I've ever even hit golf balls in my life. My dad took me one time, and this is probably it. She bought us this junior golf league. It was like 5 tournaments or something, and I was a beginner. Anyway, long story short, one of the guys, I think we hit some balls on the range, then we went over to the green and they gave us a little short game tutorial or whatever. And my cousin was holding the golf club, trying to hit a putt, and the instructor came up and said, "My God, that's the worst grip I've ever seen. That's horrible." And I think he was serious. And my cousin's like, this is like the first time he's ever played golf, you know? I mean, what kind of teacher does that, right? Just completely demoralizes a person instead of helping them. But anyways, it's just a funny story. We still joke about that if we ever... Not that my cousin and I are really in contact anymore. Kind of lost touch over the years. But yeah, we used to talk about that all the time. The occasions we would actually go out and play golf, which I would like to get into at some point. Again. I mean, I've slowly built myself a new golf club set over the last couple of years, planning to get back into golf, but I never actually... I think I went to the range 3 or 4 times last year, and then maybe played 3 or 4 rounds. But yeah. But this isn't really the golf channel, so I'm not going to go too much into golf unless you guys just want to talk about it. Oh, new seat. Somebody got up right as we got there. Sweet. Yeah, we're pretty much done with this hand unless we improve. Yeah, I don't. The only Helmuth book that I have is the one he has on Tells, where Joe Navarro, I guess, co-authored it with him. I just thought it looked like an interesting read. I can't say it wasn't completely unhelpful. I mean, I do, when I was playing pub poker back in the day, actually, a few of those things are accurate. Some of them I'd be like, the problem is, if you're looking for tells, some players don't realize, they think they have the super strong hand, that they're overvaluing their hand, so they're going to have a particular tell, and you like get completely merged because of it. If that makes any sense. That was what always happened to me. I was like, he looks weak here, which means he's probably strong. Anyways, I don't even know what the hell I'm saying, but I kind of value pulling myself a few times. Because I thought the guy was weak, or I thought the guy was strong, and I played my hand accordingly, and anyway, or vice versa. I don't even remember the exact circumstance I'm talking about, but it was something like that, where the read didn't really work because the guy was a complete whale. That's basically in a nutshell. And I think 90% of pub poker is whales. This is really so deja vu-ish. We had this exact same situation. Blind versus blind. I led with an open-ender on a flush draw board. And I got min raised. This isn't the same guy. I mean, we've only been on this table one hand, so the ship here. Same thing. I'm gonna call. If we don't hit, I'll just check fold. I think he's got to have a jack here, right, to check back that turn. I'm just gonna bet for value for 20 cents. I think it looks like we have a jack here, so he can't really raise me unless he has a jack. Unless he's not a thinking player, then he could just raise because he just wants to raise. I'm not calling if he raises. I don't think it's profitable. I mean, shouldn't this board be scary enough that when he hits trips on the turn, unless he has exactly jack 9 or jack 5, then I could see him checking back the turn to try and let me make a flush. So that makes sense. But I think he either has a boat or nothing here. But he was in the two pair, just made way too much sense. And I don't think he's raising me with 9-5 now. I'm just going to talk myself into a fold here. I don't think it's a good spot to call. I think we had the right price to call on the flop. And I think we can get some value from like 9-5 now on the river. Once we... I just think that's better than check folding. Oh, cool. Yeah. That's awesome. What do you do at the golf club? Actually, when I was in college, I was a range picker for a while at a golf club. Yeah, I love the sport. I wish I could do it every week again. I did it a lot when I was in my 20s and late teens and 20s. That's what I did on my honeymoon. Or not my honeymoon. The day of my wedding, rather. We went out and played golf before the wedding. We actually played at, it's up there near Rochester, New York. Really nice golf course. You might even have heard of it from where you're from. I'm going to look it up. Because it was a nice golf course. Let's see. Was it Durand Eastman? No, I don't think it was. Don't remember. No, it wasn't Durand Eastman. It wasn't Oak Hill, obviously. That would have been nice. I actually used to live like 3 miles from Oak Hill. Very sad to me because I couldn't play there. Maybe it's Ravenwood. I think it was Ravenwood Golf Course we played at in Victor, New York, if I remember correctly. Nice little track. Want to guess what I shot that day? I was playing quite frequently back then, I think, right before we got married, so. I didn't have a great day, but it was a good day. Because I'm playing golf on my wedding day, you know. That guy show? Did he show a bluff? Always good to have. Oh yeah, he had 4-5. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's not much we can do there, though. So we get mini raise. So I'm guessing when we call, this guy's going to call. So we're getting a really good price here. So we have to call this. Actually, if he ships and he ships, I'm putting it in. Wow. So we have basically the nuts here. The nuts for having like 2 SPR and a 3-way pot, backdoor flush draw, open ender. We have to consider this the nuts. And the nuts, I just mean it's plus EV to get it all in. That's it. We don't have any real fold equity, but we can't really call a 3-bet, flop this flop, and then fold. Because if he has aces or kings, you know, we have a lot of cards we can hit. Oh wow, this is really good. If we're live at all. If somebody has king 10 here, we're effed, but this is actually a really good spot if he doesn't have king 10. Wow, we're good. Yeah, we're good. This is like best case scenario. That was awesome. Wow. You'll have to get me on Oak Hill sometime. My wife is from that area up there, so I do go up there sometimes. So I'm gonna make you get me on Oak Hill. I actually went to single length irons last year. I bought a set from what's the cheap set you can get? Not the what do you call it? The God, I can't remember the name of this. Is it Pinhawk? Pinhawk. And I've hit them like 3 times on the range, and that's it. I haven't played around with them yet, but they were really good to me on the range. I'm like the kind of player that's like really good with an 8-iron, 9-iron, 7-iron. I get pretty shoddy with long irons. I hit them pretty well, I just can't hit them straight. I can hit them. Yeah, so we chop here, that's fine. I'm going to check, well. That's pretty passive. I think if it checks through, we have a lot of visibility on this turn. Probably just not going to have anything, so we can just bet for value and hope he picked up something. That's a really good card. I think we're going to get value from like a 7x hand now. Darn. Oh, cool. Wow. That's a nice golf club then. I know golf is huge in Canada. I mean, the best golfer of all time came from Canada, right? So, the best ball striker of all time. The best 2 golfers of all time, right? Or was... No, the best golfer of all time. The second best, I guess, was Texas. But I tend to hit the ball, I keep it in play pretty well off the tee. Not a super long hitter. I'm a little bit of a long hitter nowadays because of the equipment. In fact, I was a pretty decent hitter back in the day, back when I was in my early 20s, of course. I could hit it 265, 270, you know. That was back when the tour leaders were like in the 270s, 280s, you know. I think John Daly was 291 that year, the year I was first playing. I generally keep it in play. My strength is my short game. It's a good strength to have. That's the only reason I shoot some low scores is my short game. I'm really erratic with my irons. That's always been my problem. That's why I went to the single length. But I don't really get to play, so who knows how good I would be right now. I want to build a practice green in my backyard. I don't think I have the room. I have to clear some trees out down in the woods. This table looks pretty lousy. I'm going to get off of it. This one looks pretty terrible too. Okay. Yeah. See you later. Try this one, 43 VPIP. Looks promising, honestly. Unless he's talking about himself or his game, right? But just kind of the way it was. That's awesome that you actually met him, though. I mean, that's something you can tell your grandkids, right? It was like he was actually living in Florida, I think, when I was living down there learning golf. It's unfortunate that he wasn't on my radar. I didn't know anything about him back then. I didn't learn about him till just a few years ago. Probably could have went and seen him give a clinic or something. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube out there of him playing like a 100-yard shot or something, 80, 90-yard shot. And he just hits like a whole bucket within, I mean, his dispersion rate was like he averaged probably a 6-foot putt or something. Pretty crazy. Wow, 400 yards. Downhill, downwind on hard pan in my dreams. Put this in here. That's a squeeze, it's 8s. Kind of vacuumish. I think it's okay. Hey Arc Shark, we are started this session at $239. We're moving up to 50 and L, or taking a shot at 50 and L at 300, so we're about 60 bucks away. This isn't the worst flop in the world, unless they have Queen X, but you know, that's not their entire range. Boo. Boo! So we lose a flip for a triple up. I mean, it's not a big deal. Put that in. We don't have that much property, but I think most of our property is in the back. We don't have much in the front. But we're doing well at 25 and L. Well, we're not doing well at 25 and L, but we're doing well EV at 25 and L. We're like just tearing it up in EV. But not just not winning that much at Showdown, fortunately. Here's my stakes, if you can see it. This is 25 and L. Maybe I'll drag it in here in case it's hard to read over there. I can get it in there. Fold this hand. Yeah, it really lags when I try to hold the manager around. So this is 25 and L. We've won $33 almost at 9 big blinds per 100. But we're supposed to have won 112 at 30 big blinds per 100. That's pretty disheartening. I probably can't get this out of here now. This lags the shit when we're. Oh, it's annoying. Don't know what to do. Get out of there. Thank you. Alright. Probably won't try that again. At least it didn't delay any hands or anything. We better assess our tables real quick. This one's going to be good if this guy's actually that. I think we can call this. Fold this. This one's potentially okay. This one, yeah, 90 VPIP up here. We'll definitely stay here. I'm going to fold this now. That sucks. Fold that. If we were just running average at 25 and L, we would already be taking our shot at 50 and L. It's kind of unfortunate. But we'll get there anyways. We're still glad to be running 9 big blinds actual. At least we're not losing, right? This would be much better to get our EV in our pocket. I would much rather have real money than virtual money. Duh, right? Alright. So laggy when I try to move that around. You know what I should have done is screenshotted it and then drug the screenshot in. If I had half a brain. I'd always think of these things after the fact. So this guy might be a pre-flop maniac here. That's good. Might be a really good seat. It'll be a little loose, I think. This is kind of fishy when a 13-13 limps. Can't really limp behind in that. I guess we could, but technically the cutoff. We do have this 90 VPIP player. That's probably a Jack 8 suited would be a good limp there. This can be a call sometimes. Not now. That looks pretty aggro. What do we do? Just lead here? No. Fold now. I'm not. I guess I'll raise into this guy. Just because I want to play pots with him. I don't know if he's a 3-betty type player yet. I think we have to test the waters, but I definitely want to see a flop with him a lot. He has folded to a C-bet before. 1 of 1. Something tells me this type of player will also want to make small raises over min raises a lot. Like, yeah, or just do that. Guess we need to be value-ish versus him. I am going to raise this though, just because I don't mind him calling and him calling and him calling and seeing a multi-way pot. That is a multi-way pot, so we have an SPR of less than 3 with a nut draw. Do we check shove? So you potentially see a free card, or just bet a third now? I actually like a check shove because if somebody bets, we could get some dead money in the pot before we put the rest in, and maybe get like a 3-way chance. Have like 50% equity to triple up, and we also keep the pot. We don't have to go broke here. I think we just call this. We still have a draw potentially to the nuts here, so a 10 could be good. That's not really the run out we were looking for. It really sucks too. If we had a 9 or a 10 here, we just call this. So we get a brick off, but we probably save our whole stack there. Probably. A lot. Against the ranges we could be against, which connect very well to a Jack 8 board. There's a lot of jacks in the ranges. Yeah, I like ACR software and everything. What about a third of my stack here? What is that, about 50 cents? I like stack and tile too, but I like the betting features that Table Tamer has. I did a video on stack and tile and Table Tamer. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I like stack and tile. I mean, they're both viable. Wow, this guy's 18-9. Stolen 1 out of 2. Okay, I'm just going to flat here. Definitely getting it in for value versus this player. I'm going to lead with 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw. Wow, he has ace king. Really? Really? You're 90-60 and you have ace king. That's so sick. Oh my god, that's so crazy. Now we just check call, I guess. Now I just bet for value. How does he have ace king? I mean, that's just running super bad. Wow, this is close. I guess we just have to call this. We can't fold. Oh, really? You checked back the turn with ace 10? Yeah. I would say we're running bad, but then we get this flop. Hopefully somebody doesn't have ace king. Lots of weak aces. Lots of ranges for somebody to have a weak ace there. I guess we just bet here. Check back. We have SPR. We won't. We'll do that. We have showdown value as well. I guess we just ship the rest now. Check back. Bet for thin value here on the top right. I think we can just fold now. Wow, really? Okay. Well, we'll take a double up, more than a double up down here on the bottom right to make up for our shenanigans here on the top, on the bottom left. And the top right. It's really weird that this guy had ace king. I mean, what the hell? I guess it's possible. I don't care if he has ace king, just don't have it when I have it, like, the nuts against his range, ace 10. I have a friend, ACR Shark, I have a friend that plays with a, I think it's a, oh lord, I started talking, I don't even know what I'm saying, like a, I guess the same kind of joystick, it's a joystick, the same one you would use on something like, what are the consoles you can use? Anyway, he uses a few full joystick system when he multi-tables, so. I'll open that, fold that, c-bet that, check fold now. See if we can fill this slot here. Sorry about that. I was talking to my wife through the door. She went over to a kids' play group. It was supposed to be just wives and kids. Turns out all the guys went over there too from the neighborhood, and they're all drinking and having a good merry old time. Before I started streaming, she texted the host of the play group and said, "Is this just a wives thing or a husband thing? Maybe we could play like what's the name of that game that people have been playing? I don't even remember. Some adult game that we played one other time. We ask each other weird questions. Anyway, God, why can't I remember that game? So yeah, turns out that once she goes over for the play group, all the guys are there. So she's texted me a few times, but I don't answer texts when I'm streaming, you know. And so I am gonna go ahead and just wrap this up in about 5 minutes and go over there and have a couple beers. And I told her, I said, if we're gonna do the game or play or hang out with other guys or whatever, we're gonna have like a family group thing. I could start the stream at 2 o'clock and be done at 4, you know, and then go over there. But I didn't do that because I didn't think we were doing that. So I guess I'll go ahead and do that. Be social. And I apologize for cutting it short. But honestly, except for a couple of these guys on these tables recently, these haven't been the best tables today. Although I do think I'm on 4 good tables now, potentially. So we'll play this. Yeah, we'll play it out to the blinds and go ahead and quit today. I think if I bet a little big here, this guy's going to have not too many hands that connect. This does connect to a wide range, but I think he's defending a wide range, so it doesn't connect as often as a tight range would. If that makes sense. Go ahead and leave this one. So hopefully we're not down today. I actually have no idea. I actually did a video on stacking tile and table tamer. Could drop that in if you want to watch it at some point. I don't know if it'll be, probably won't be helpful to you, but I'll do it just the same. Oh, shit, clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Open that. I didn't think I did that video that long ago. There it is. I'm gonna bet pot on this one. Makes me really damn sure of my fold here if he raises. It's a really good board to check raise, but it's hard to check raise a pot size bet, and I almost always have the best hand there. Yeah, I forgot about the football game. So that's probably what they'll end up doing over there is watching that. Yeah, we'll play these last 2 hands, see how we did. Part ways. Been an interesting session though, this one. Been some interesting spots. You sucker. Don't tree bet me right now. I want to play that 10-9 suited. I'm not going to screw around with that. So we'll see where we're at here. I have no clue. Maybe slightly up. Oh. 249.73, so I guess we're exactly $10 up today. I'll take $10 an hour at 25 NL and 10 NL. Not that they were actually going to do that. So yeah, we're about 50 bucks away now from taking our 50 NL shot, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and cut this short. I apologize again for quitting early, but I always say that I like to stream at least an hour. Although I do normally go to the full 2, but I reserve the right to start early, quit early, play late if I want to. I haven't done one of those marathon sessions yet. I do want to sometimes set aside the time and play a couple tournaments while I play cash games. Take a shot, why not? But I need to set around. I have to be able to set aside the time to have at least 6, 7, 8 hours to play in case I go deep in those tournaments. So I would basically just play the cash games while I'm still alive in my couple tournaments I'm taking a shot in. I'm not talking about anything spectacular at this point. It would be more like depending on what my bankroll is at the time. I mean, it could be $1, $3, $5 buy-in tournament or something. Hopefully like a 3K guaranteed or whatever, maybe on a weekend. So I'm hoping that happens at some point down the road. It would be sweet if we could just get lucky, run deep, bink, double our bankroll or something like that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and cut this short. Thanks again, everybody, for stopping by. Be sure to follow the channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel as well if you don't mind, and keep grinding up that bankroll, and we'll see you next time.